Where is this taxi? Whew, wow. Now I know, first drive, normally I'm up there, right? Hands on the steering wheel, giving you all the driving impressions, steering, suspension, you name it. But not today, because Mercedes has built this, the VLE, which is all about the passenger. And I'm going to find out whether Mercedes have actually managed to create a business class experience on wheels. And you know what? The early signs are looking good. Yeah, I'm still here. I mean, you can't blame me. It's so comfortable. It really is a very nice place to be. I am enjoying the massage seats. I'm enjoying the fact that I am literally surrounded by charging galore. We've got wireless charging up here. We've got more USB-C ports than you can shake a stick at. Your kids will never have any form of device that has run out of battery. And let's get my ridiculously oversized 31-inch display screen, which can even be split so we can watch two different things. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, if you remember, Mercedes with the EQV, they kind of civilized the van, didn't they? But with this, they have taken it to a whole new level. We're talking maximum refinement, luxury. I mean, there is more technology than you can ever possibly imagine. In terms of the configuration, you can go anything from 6 to 8. I mean, you could take all the seats out if you wanted, but we could have 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, and everything in between. It really is a car or a van built for flexibility, built for comfort. The only downside is, spoiler alert, it doesn't come with its own chauffeur. So I think at this point, it is time for me to take to the flight deck and pilot this thing. Okay, let's get into it. So Mercedes will offer two versions. There's the VLE 300. You get 276 horsepower with that one, and it takes 9.5 seconds to reach 62 miles per hour. Then you've got the all-wheel drive, the LE 400 Formatic Boost, that to 421 horsepower, and that is going to cut the sprint time to 6.5 seconds. I mean, yeah, 9.5 seconds. It's not that speedy, is it? But to be honest, no one is buying a luxury MPV because they're planning on drag racing away from the traffic lights. I think the question we need to be asking is, does it feel effortless to drive? And are your passengers happy? Well, so far, it is pretty effortless. And if I had passengers, I think they would be happy. I'm not gonna lie though, it was quite intimidating when I first got in it. It is absolutely ginormous. We cannot pretend that this is a small car, because it's not. It's more than 5 meters long. It's the size of a luxury limousine rather than your average family SUV. However, having said that, well, first of all, the visibility is great. I mean, you're in a really good high driving position, huge windows, so that's a help. But the steering is quite light, but the best part about it is it's really quite easy to maneuver. A lot more than you might first imagine. And that's so important because ultimately you don't want to jump in this car. You don't want this to feel like a big commercial vehicle. Mercedes want this to feel like a luxury car, which actually I think it does.
Oh, I nearly forgot to mention that this is actually the short wheelbase version of the VLE that I'm driving. I know, there is nothing small or short about it, but in 2027, you will be able to buy a long wheelbase VLE that will be nearly 5.5 metres long. No boot capacity or other details confirmed for that yet though, but really, how much space do you need?
Should we talk the sexy stuff? I know you want to know. Let's talk batteries. Because it is quite ridiculous, if I'm honest. Under the floor of this car sits a huge 115 kilowatt hour usable NMC battery. I mean, wow, that is significantly larger than anything you're going to find in the Kia PV5, the Hyundai Staria, or the Volkswagen ID Buzz. Consequently, the range is massive. It's rated at 435 miles, 700 kilometers, which is going to beat its rivals, smash its rivals, in fact. Now, charging was a bit of a weak point of the old EQV. It maxed out at 110 kilowatts, which meant charging could just take forever, basically, which is not ideal if you're running airport transfers or using this as a luxury taxi. However, Mercedes have done something about that, of course, because the VLE has a new 800-volt system, so you can rapid charge and it jumps to a peak of over 300 kilowatts. Now, obviously, you do have to be charging on the right equipment, but ultimately, that is a brilliant option to have. On a powerful enough charger, you can add 225 miles of range in just 15 minutes. I mean, Mercedes hasn't just given this a luxury makeover, it's given the battery proper range, proper charging technology that you would expect from a flagship EV in 2026, and it's ultimately future-proofed it, hasn't it? Other things to be aware of. Mercedes is bringing an 80 kilowatt hour LFP battery to the VLE in 2027. Now, at the moment, we don't know the range of that or the charging specifics. We don't actually know if it's even coming to the UK. However, we'll keep you posted on that. And with the LFP battery technology improving rapidly, I think it's going to be interesting to see what range and charging Mercedes can offer with this entry-level VLE model. Now, what really defines the VLE, well, in fact, any luxury people carrier, is, of course, the way it rides. And you've got to keep in mind that it has a very big battery to carry as well. Now, every version gets air suspension, and I think it kind of depends on your tastes. That's either one of Mercedes' greatest strengths or one of their greatest weaknesses, because the air suspension, it does give you that sort of magic carpet feeling where roads just disappear beneath you. I mean, it literally just swallows up the speed bumps. You can barely feel them. But sometimes it does feel a bit floaty, maybe a bit disconnected from the road underneath. But with the VLE, it sits somewhere in the middle. I think it really depends on what drive mode you go for. What I'm enjoying is the fact that, you know, you can obviously tailor the drive mode to suit the driving situation. So if I am just driving for my benefit and my enjoyment purposes, I can whack it into sport mode, I can put the suspension on hard, you get that feeling, that kind of instant acceleration that, you know, you do, well, I love in an EV. And it kind of, yeah, it obviously does feel a bit more sporty, a bit more racy. It's still a little bit disconnected from the road, but it does bring you a bit more joy while driving. I don't think you can ever say you're going to have loads of fun in this car. Even though it doesn't feel heavy, it's kind of big. It doesn't wallow too much through the corners. Actually, I think the benefit of having the heavy battery means it does feel quite planted through the corners. So, I mean, this is a really long, wiggly, windy, undulating road. And, you know, you look at the outside of this car, it shouldn't handle like this on a road like this. It is amazing, but it's not fun. It's just comfortable. And then obviously if you are driving it more in your, you know, put your chauffeur hat on, which I feel like is how I spend my life, driving my children around, then you can put it into comfort mode and you can have much softer suspension and you can put your, you know, you can drive it maybe in eco mode, in fact, so you get maximum amount of miles, maximum amount of efficiency out of it. And it's very comfortable. And it really is that magic carpet feeling. It is so smooth on the roads. I mean, you will be sending your baby to sleep in the back of this car. All new parents, I advise you, buy one of these. I think they'd fall to sleep instantly. Oops, I'm back in my favourite position. And that is because I have been sitting here for quite a while whilst being driven on all sorts of roads. We're talking motorway, local village roads, windy, twisty, undulating roads. And you know what? In every single environment, it's still a comfortable place to be. I have been exploring all the different buttons, particularly this. I've really been enjoying the sunshade that you get not only here, but also in the rear. And as we mentioned earlier, this insane, I mean, it's like having your own cinema. Now I'm going to bring it down because I think the really clever part about this display screen is it is ginormous, but the beauty of it is that you can divide it. So you and your passenger in the rear don't have to argue about what's going on. One of you can be on a video call. The other one can be watching Peppa Pig. I will obviously be watching Peppa Pig. Now, if you do want to know more about the nitty-gritty of all the technology, everything that this car has to offer, Ginny did an amazing walk-around video of this exact car. So click here and enjoy that. Another thing I want to talk about is the seats. Now, obviously, we've mentioned that you can have so many different configurations. There's also the option of choosing either the automatically reclined seats at the touch of a button, or you can go for the manual ones. Now, the beauty of the manual ones is that you can reconfigure them yourself. So literally at the touch of a button, you can remove the seats. You have to be able to carry 27 kilos of weight, which I've been in training for quite a few years now, carrying 2 children at the same time. But what it means is that you can actually really quickly and relatively simply change the configuration of your seats. They call it roll and go. And I did a brilliant example if you would like to watch this short of how not to do it. Moving on, let's talk boot space. Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely a car of this size with these ginormous seats and this enormous amount of legroom can't have a big boot as well. Well, you'd be wrong. 795 litres of boot space available with all the seats in. I think that's probably enough. Right, to the front. Now, I know I've talked a lot about the passenger and how great it is for them, but don't worry, the driver has not been forgotten. This is still a very lovely place to be. First thing you notice is this. There's a famous line in motorsport commentary, 3 doesn't go into 1. But in this instance, it really does. We've got 3 different displays into 1 mega screen, and it's a beautiful thing. So we've got 10.25 inches up front for the driver, plus another 14, plus another 14. And obviously that means that your passenger in the front gets their own unique infotainment system to watch or do whatever they want during the course of your journey. Plus you've got the usual infotainment system in the center console up here, and actually it is pretty intuitive to use. The integrated map is fine. It's okay. You get a really nice head-up display. I have a soft spot for Google Maps. You know, obviously you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integrated in this, so you can use that if you want. Personally, I'm probably still going to go with Google, but if you don't have that, the maps on this are still relatively easy to use. Plenty of storage. You've got double cup holders up here, massive door bins down there, double wireless charging for your phone, loads of USB ports. You've got a lovely place to either keep your water cool, or in my instance, you can actually heat it up, and I'm just keeping my breakfast warm for later. Pop that back there. No, you can't have any. That is for me. I will get that as a treat when I've finished filming. The other thing worth mentioning is the regen. You can go pretty light on the regen, or full regen 1 pedal mode, or you can choose intelligent regen. Personally, I like the intelligent regen. 1 pedal can actually feel a little bit heavy. I think it's quite jerky for your passengers in the back. But if you go for the intelligent, it's kind of maximizing the amount of regen without it impacting the driving experience. What I noticed is when I was going down a hill, it kind of really cut in. But when we were on a nice straight flat road, actually it was relatively light. So that's something to note. One thing worth mentioning is the digital rear view mirror. Brilliant, super, super useful, because you get a lovely clear view of what's going on behind you, which I think you need in a beast like this, because at the moment, if I just looked at the reflection, I mean, you can't really see anything. The seats are in the way. Also, you've got a shield for the rear window if you want to have that up, in which case, well, you wouldn't be able to see anything, would you? Now, if you're not quite ready to take the plunge and buy a brand shiny new one of these, then fear not, because go to electrifying.com. We have loads of pre-loved used cars ready for you to take a look at. Right, let's talk pricing. Well, actually, let's not, because we don't actually have the confirmed UK pricing for the VLE yet. However, I am going to guesstimate that it will hopefully start from around the 70,000 mark, hopefully under, but around the 70,000 mark, basically in line with the current V-Class. And that could, of course, escalate quite quickly depending on what spec you go for, possibly up to 6 figures. To be honest though, I think it's going to be the lease prices that make or break this one, because of course it's going to be most popular with company car users, as well as, well, maybe a few very lucky customers who can afford to give their children a 31-inch panoramic screen to watch in the car. Very privileged indeed. But we are going to have to wait to find out what those monthly prices come in at. But I think one thing about the VLE is that it doesn't really have any direct rivals if you think about it. You've got the Kia PV5, this is cheaper and a lot more basic. Then you've got the ID Buzz. Well, it's not the same thing, is it? That's like a car for going on holiday, isn't it? What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree on that one. Anyway, rivals or no rivals, it is likely that the VLE will be the priciest of them all, that's for sure. Quick one on the warranty. So Mercedes offer a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty in all of its EVs, and the battery is covered for 8 years and 100,000 miles. Now, I don't know if you remember, but at the start of this video, I said that the best seat in the house was in the back. And having spent a day on the road in it, I think I'm going to have to stick with that opinion. Now, usually that's not something that you want to hear from the person reviewing the car. But in this case, I think the fact that Mercedes has designed the VLE around people being carried, it's not just about the person doing the carrying. It's not just about the driver for once. And I think that has to be the right call. So on that note, chauffeur, where are you? I'm ready.